Technology is coming to select courtrooms across the state, and Greenville County is one of them. It is set to create some more reliable access for hearings in the courtroom and remotely. Fox Carolina's Lindsey Gibbs, she's live this morning to tell us why this is so important.
Hey, good morning, Margaret Ann. Well, if you or a family member can't be in the courtroom, this is really going to help if you have to do so virtually. It's going to streamline that process and make it easier so it's more reliable within court proceedings. That way there may be no delays and nothing that needs to be put off any further. Now, this new technology, it's already here in Greenville County courts. We're one of 5 counties with this new technology that are going to be testing it out. It's going to be in circuit and family court hearings. Now, it's called the Technology Enhanced Courtroom Project. It gives courtrooms reliable internet, built-in video conferencing, screen sharing, and live streaming. Now, updating the tech in hearings also helps prevent court hearing delays, backlogs, which we saw a lot of during the pandemic. Greenville County played a huge role in helping the Supreme Court figure out where improvements were needed, like closed captioning, foreign language and sign language interpretation, plus tech support. That's currently being used in 16 different courts across Greenville County and will be moving into other counties like Barnwell, Beaufort, Clarendon, and Richland counties. Now, eventually the equipment, they're going to be used for all types of court proceedings, not just circuit and family court, but criminal court cases as well. For now, in Greenville, Lindsey Gibbs, Fox Carolina News.